Welcome to the Collapse Experiment. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. On to it, shall we? When you should say no. As a father, you should always say no. It's what they expect. It's what keeps them in check, because we're always watching you. So, according to the interwebs, you should say no when a request makes you feel uncomfortable, guilty, or obligated, or when it crosses your personal boundaries. I'd have to agree with all of that. A lot of that it covers family, covers your work life, covers a lot of different things. So, work, in my opinion, when you go to the job interview, when you see the job description of what you applied for, right? Anything after that point, if they're not talking about compensating you in some kind of way, that's a no. Because there's a good chance, for one, you're not working your way up a ladder. That's going to be for Jim Bob, Cousin Eddie, or somebody else who's going to be coming in to a position above you because they didn't earn it. It's just circle jerks in the office, okay? That's what that is. So if you have your set job and your boss comes to you and is like, hey, I need you to cover blah, 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 blah. No. What do you mean no? This is what I got hired to do. The thing I'm doing now, and I'm leaving here on time because I'm going to go home and see my kids and my wife. And I don't really feel like being here another 2 to 3 hours because you hired a dumb shit that doesn't know how to come in on time and is chronically calling in sick with the boo-hoo-hoos. It's not my problem. How about you take care of your problems? Because that's not my job. You feel guilty or obligated. Yeah, when they have to make you feel that way, that's some BS too, right? Yeah, that should not be going on. And a lot of times that's family. Like, well, you remember all the stuff I did for you? When? You're overloaded with work. Yeah. I'm sorry, but there's the job that you applied for. There's your job you're responsible for. And once it goes beyond that and it starts affecting like your home life and stuff, well, you can either put your foot down and say no. And if they try punishing you or treating you like garbage after that, look for a new job because they don't really care if you're there or not. They just want a body. And if the bodies aren't working, they'll find a body who will do the work the other bodies aren't doing. And that is how that bullshit goes. Yeah. Hey, you leave me alone. That's harassment. Dude, it's been like 3 hours. And I've seen you take 2 smoke breaks, which you don't get smoke breaks. And you went on lunch for 45 minutes when you get a half hour. So in the last 3 hours, almost half of that was, what were you doing? Man, you better leave me alone. Bob, can you do his work? No. You feel a request crosses personal boundaries. Yeah, I'm going to have you come in this weekend because our numbers are down. Yeah, dude, I got my daughter's dance recital. Yeah, right. Mandatory overtime? Mandatory suck my balls. You can get the hell out of here. I'm going to that dance recital. I'm going to have to write. Yeah, go ahead. Get the paper. I'll sign the shit out of it. I'm still not coming in tomorrow. Right. Saying yes will take away from more important things. Yeah, that's a fairly common thing. Saying yes will be bad for your mental health. Oh, Lordy. Yeah, we could really get into that one. Because I've had certain requests made of me the last couple of years where I'm just like, oh, hell no, that is not happening. I don't know how else to tell you this. It's not happening, it's never happening, and you can shove your happening right where it shouldn't happen. So, oh man, how to say no? Be clear and kind. For example, you could say, thanks, but that's not going to work for me. If you use that one and they come back with but, everything after that but is to make you feel guilty or obligated, or they're trying to push your personal boundaries because they're an asshole. So, yeah, that thing that you're asking you to do, you really shouldn't do it after that. Focus on the good saying no. Focus on the good saying no will bring. I get my weekend off. I get to spend time with my kids. Yep, exactly. Because in reality, a lot of people try to take care of other people's problems because they want to feel useful and they want to feel like they're doing good. But the real question is, are you doing good for yourself? Or is it just some mental anguish of like, you want to feel like you're a good person, when in reality, if you're not being good to yourself, how good of a person are you? Okay? Like, what is it with your self-esteem that you have to try to please these people above your own needs? That's a good question to be asking. Be prepared for reactions of others. Oh, yeah. So, when I worked at the hospital, for some reason, the managers tried to make these goals of having a certain percentage of staff engage in outside, non-on-the-clock activities. You know who you are, Bronson. So, when I was working on the 4th floor, they were trying to get 100% participation with the Breast Cancer Awareness Walk, which I'm like, wow, none of that money is going to breast cancer. Nobody's being aware of it that isn't already aware of it, okay? And no, I don't like wearing pink regardless of what it's for, okay? Call me a dick, call me a douche, but for one, I'm not on the clock. And you're asking me to go to this thing on my day off, right? For how long is it? Oh, a 5K. So it's probably like a good half hour to an hour because there's going to be a bunch of slow ass people who are all jibber jabbering about stupid bullshit. Nobody's talking about breast cancer because nobody gives a shit. They all just want to be there like the BLM riots and just be like, I'm helping. When in reality, they just don't even know what the hell they're doing there. So, no, I wasn't going to this thing. And I had so many bitchy nurses come to me going, well, what are you going to do when your wife develops breast cancer? I'm sorry, excuse me? What? For one, she's going to go to her treatment and she's going to have health insurance because I have a job. Like, I don't understand what... If you're raising all this money for breast cancer research, how is it that there isn't a cure yet? Okay? We've raised so many millions of dollars. Okay, most of that money doesn't even go to the research. It doesn't. This is why I say no to all of this shit. It pays for the people who organize it. There's going to be some nonprofit. There's going to be a board. There's going to be some president of some bullshit that makes 6-7 figures. Most of that money does not go where they say it goes. It's just a money filtering operation scheme bullshit pyramid, period. Okay? That's all that it is. It's just complete garbage. But it makes me feel good. No, yeah, you go feel good, okay? I'm going to be doing what I want to do, and you're not going to tell me what to do if you're not paying me to do it, okay? That's how that rolls. But we have certain, we set goals at work. That's your fault, okay? You should have expected this asshole not to show up, okay? Yeah, okay. Stick to your decision. I did not go. And I enjoyed that weekend. I probably just spent it at home watching TV, but every once in a while I sat there going, I'm not at that thing with those assholes that tried to guilt trip me into going to something and donate my own money to be a participant in it. What kind of crap is that? First of all, we expect you to go. And second, in order to be there, you gotta give your $20 so you can get the t-shirt and the blah, 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 and all the donated garbage. And then that money is just gonna go somewhere else because that's how nonprofits operate. That money, it goes to operate the nonprofit. Almost none of it goes to where they say that it's going to. Save the whales? Really? Do you imagine any of that money going to like some boat that's going to go out in the ocean and help save the whales? No, it doesn't. It goes to the Save the Whale Foundation where some dude lives in a $1.5 million house with mid six-figure salary. He's got board members that he's constantly having over for drinks and orgies and shit. Yeah. That's what those operations are. They help no one. And for some reason, they're tax exempt too. Because of course they're that corrupt. Oh, it's like the church. Say no to priests too. Because they're making you uncomfortable and creepy and taking away from your other obligations. Yeah, say no. Remember the 80s. Just say no. They did not push that hard enough at all. No, and then it was just say no in the 80s because everybody's smoking crack. And then the politicians' kids are smoking crack. And then in the 90s, it became no means no. And then here in 2025, all these women are like, yeah, I said no to the date, but I didn't expect him to give up. You said no. He took it as no. Are you dumb? It's a serious question. Like, how dumb are you? I just want a guy to pursue me. You said no. I mean, granted, that's a lot easier than the mind games that you're probably going to play if you did say yes. However, if you're bitching about him not coming back after you said no, I'm pretty sure he's better off that he just left and went somewhere else after you said no. Because some chick is going to say yes. As Gene Simmons said when he was asked, why do you always ask all these women out to lunch and stuff? And he's like, because eventually one of them will say yes. He didn't give a shit. He could ask 20, 30 women in a row, hey, would you like to have lunch sometime? And they're all like, no. Like, most of the women are just like, no thanks, or, oh, you're so sweet. It was a no. They all said no. And eventually one of them was like, okay. And he's having lunch with some broad. So, that's, no means no. Ladies, if you want to be with him and he asks you out, no is not an acceptable answer to get him to come back. You said no. Okay? Obviously, you're not into him. That's what you just said. You can't be any more blunt about it. I just remember when guys used to try harder. He already asked you out. Dumbass. You said no. Now you're backtracking. That's your problem. That's a you problem. That's what that is. Yeah, when to say no. Women know when to say no. Most of the time when they say no, it's because they don't want to have lunch with you. They don't want to see you. They don't want to give you your phone number. No means no. But then there's the one that cry and whine about like, I really like this guy and I said no, but I just thought he was going to try harder because he was like, I want to go to a fucking movie with him. If he was Chad, you would say yes to the movie, and then when he goes to pick you up, you tell him to skip the movie because you're just going back to his place. Like, we know how this works. You say no to the guy that you want to pursue you because he's a paycheck and not a booty call. Okay? That's what that is. So yeah, when to say no. When no means yes. That's a video I will never make because then that's a whole shitload of trouble. So, saying no, having boundaries. Say no more often than you say yes. If you know you can't fulfill the obligation, you don't want to, if you just don't want to do it, whatever it is, that if your friends are going out for the weekend and you're not feeling it, if they try guilt tripping you, maybe they're not your friends. I'll leave you with that. Keep on typing.